I want to give you a quick overview about where this course came from and what my kind of goals or intentions are with it. I'm a PhD student, as I said, in the Department of Economics. I'm in my third year, and I have spent like my whole life as an economist looking at the world and being like, this isn't what the theories say. And then I come up with my own theory, and then I find out somebody else has already come up with that theory and already either debunked it, or like I'm way behind. It's already been way more developed than I thought it was. And so I kind of, it's kind of hard to, as a PhD student, I'm required to come up with new research and new ideas and innovations. And it's really hard because everybody's already done everything. But this is the area where I found my dissertation topic, was within this new economy thing. And I've watched my colleagues, fellow PhD students, have a similar experience of these issues. Like, we know they're coming up, we know that something's changing, and like the data are there, the information's there, we just kind of don't know what to do with it. And that's the purpose of this class, is to kind of have a conversation about what to do with all this new information, how to pull it together, what to think about it. We had last year an external speaker come to the department. I don't remember his name, and his whole speech was on how our department should redefine itself to be the department that focuses on the economic impacts of AI in the economy, artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is going to be so huge so soon. It's the driving force behind the driverless car movement. And if you think about the driverless cars, that's going to be a lot of jobs. It's going to be a lot of jobs lost. What happens? You'll see in the reading, we're talking about labor force participation rates. Labor force participation rates have been going down for men in the United States. Part of that can be explained by the retirement of baby boomers, but there's a young group, a prime working age group of men that aren't working, and they're not in college, and they're not doing something else, and it's an increasing number. Why are the men not working? Women have been entering the labor force more, but those rates have been changing. They're declining. There's this decline in the number of people who are working in our society. And then if you take into account the fact that things like driverless jobs and automation are just immigration, internationalization, globalization, I mean, there's weird stuff going on here. So one reading that I include is this labor force participation one. It kind of goes into some detail. The first 5 paragraphs are kind of hard to get through, but focus on the stuff towards the middle and the end. Another reading I have is on Airbnb just made an agreement with the Fannie Mae and is it the IRS? I can't remember. It's in the reading. But where they're going to be reporting people's income directly to the IRS, so that people can now use Airbnb income for home loans. And I mean, let's think about that for a minute. Your home, well, actually, I'm not going to go into that. We'll talk about that next week, because this thing is huge. This is my obsession. But I mean, Airbnb, this gig economy they call it, musicians get a gig, they get to play for one night. They're not being hired, to work forever at the bar. They're just being hired to work one night at the bar. It's the idea of Airbnb and Lyft and Uber and all of these ride-sharing type things, and these ways of splitting your home up and renting it out. That's kind of weird. I mean, there's just a lot of weird stuff about that. The people are renting out their wealth, basically. Americans, U.S. citizens, tend to hold their income, their wealth, in their homes and in their durable goods, and that's what renting out to Airbnb and using these drive share things are. It's using your wealth to make more money. I mean, it's turning it into capital. There's a lot of weird stuff happening there that we'll talk about in more detail. Finally, the third reading looks at household composition, and this is my area of research. In particular, this is a reading on multi-generational households that Pew Research has done with IPUMS data, with census data. And you're going to see in the reading that 1 in 5 households are the nuclear family that we think of, where it's 2 parents of different genders and their babies, their offspring. It's only 1 in 5. In economics, our only models and theories of the household are based on having these two adults bargaining over the welfare of the children and their own interests. So there's really no economic tool for really thinking about all of these different households and what that means for labor in the household, time use, who's taking care of children, how well education is being received. We know that health outcomes are associated with family and household lifestyles. There's a lot packed into that. There's a lot of implications. So these are the types of things that, we're going to go over all of it. We're going to go over climate change, and we're going to look at, tiny houses and people doing gardening in their backyard. Like, there's these weird counter movements that are coming in, but they're not really changing the flow of where our economy is going. And it's going to be really exciting this semester to talk with all of you about it and see if we can figure it out, because I haven't figured it out yet, and I need more minds to help me make some progress with it. So I look forward to all those things. Do your homework assignments, and I'll see you next week after you do your readings and your homework assignments, and then we'll have fun next week.